Welcome back, everyone, to Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. We're here in Cincinnati, but I don't spy with my little eye any giant cockroaches. I feel earnestly ripped off, quite frankly. Alright, which story has evolved now? It's break time at this half-finished bridge. The workers are gathering around a young man who sits on a bucket like a king. They listen rapidly to his story about the blessed lighthouse sanctuary where souls in love could find respite. Listen to the tale. You realize it's the story of the two lighthouse keepers, but heavily embellished. The young man on the bucket tells it masterfully, doing all the voices as if he'd told it this way 1,000 times before. Well, what a story. It's nothing close to what actually happened, but this version is pretty good. He'll have an easier time remembering it. The Blessed Lighthouse Sanctuary. I suspect I can cross those bridges if I'm willing to pay. What do we have here?
Surrounded by fields of corn and rye, a small farm lies fallow. Its tiny stable crumbles into disrepair, and foxtails sprout from its fields.
I'll go in.
Inside, the sunlight filtering in through two small windows turns to hazy gray shafts in the thick dust that blankets the interior. There's not much in the way of furniture, but on a rustic kitchen table, a handwritten note catches your eye. Never opened.
Examine it?
It's addressed to Martha and unsigned. Her name is written in the stiff letters of a man for whom literacy is more a formality than habit.
What does it say?
If you find this, I'm already gone. Don't come looking for me. Rest is scratchy spirals and circles of halfway readable writing about the noises from the cellar and the hunger in the darkness. The cellar door at the edge of the abandoned kitchen calls to your attention.
I think I've got enough sun stories I could use with another magical one.
The door is unlatched. The ground below is deeply stained with some dark residue you can't identify. Upon it, only ancient piles of chains and manacles, slowly turning to rust.
Let's just move on then. It's the abandoned farmhouse. And what do we have here?
Over a shared, crusty loaf of bread, the farmer notices you looking at a prominent, tattered scarecrow in the field. Oh, you like old Barney?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Does a damn good job scaring the vermin. Shame about the real fella. He was a funny one. Old Barney hiding out in our stables and lofts, just passing along. We liked him. Well, all except the sheriff. Barney never harmed nothing. I sometimes shared bread with him, just like you here.
What happened to him, though?
When he disappeared, leaving just the clothes we gave him, I figured I'd put him to use. Never got to know his proper name, neither. Across the field, the wind in the corn whispers. Or is it the scarecrow?
Move on. Old Barney the Scarecrow. That's a tall tale, but I like it. Alright, let's see who we got here. Oh, it's Franklin again.
It's a funny thing. Someone looking right through you. But don't lie to me, friend. I know you want to know the truth, what it really means to be a porter.
Tell me, Franklin.
Well, I can tell you it's more than making white folks happy. That's just how it's supposed to look. But you go on so long being how you're supposed to, you're not quite sure how to go back to what you are. Though I suppose I can give it a try. Anyway, you must have some funny stories to tell. Share one.
Funny stories. Strange Clamor? No. Pigeon Keeper? No, that one was not story. Story of the Girl with Strange Stones? No, that wasn't funny. Massive Thunderstorm? No. Dead boy in the grain silo. Yeah, no, that ain't funny. Leatherman's Cave might be kind of funny. Maybe. Yep, that's the sign, my bad. Alright, I think the Leatherman's story is my best bet.
I'll keep this story in my pocket for sure. It'll make some passenger laugh. It's hard to have faith in a person if you never really know him.
Wonder why you say that, Franklin.
And let me tell you, it's hard to really know a porter. At least to know more than what he wants you to know.
Of course.
You can let him completely into your life, and he'll keep you in the dark about his. Have any optimistic tales? I'd like to hear one of those.
Optimistic, eh? I don't generally travel and that sort of things. Quinn's story might be as close as I can get, focusing on the hopeful parts.
Just like I told you, friend, miles of smiles. Travel? It's not just people riding on these railroads. See, most days I'll pick up a newspaper or a magazine or an album somebody left behind. Then I'll give it a read or a listen and maybe even sell it someplace where they don't know Bessie Smith yet.
Interesting.
Anyway, I'm in the mood for a good happy story. You got me?
Oh, Franklin, I hate to let you down, but I do believe I am right out of happy stories. And the bridge builders might be happy. They seemed pleasant enough. I'm not exactly sure how that story qualifies.
That's a tall one. Don't pull my leg, okay?
All right, so it's meant to be an unbelievable story. Okay. Or a thriller, perhaps.
Freedom. That's what the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters is about. Getting our freedom. Some folks in this country ain't too fond of unions, socialism, or anything that's got them scared somebody's gonna grab what's theirs.
Right.
And they're especially ornery when it's black folks organizing their labor.
I imagine. Regular people organizing? That's bad. Black people? That's intolerable. Destroy it.
They think there's not enough freedom to go around. I guess we'll find out. Have any optimistic tales?
All right. Optimistic. What do I got? Nothing that fits that description. Closest thing I got is the girl with the strange stones. I know that ain't gonna do it, but I had to try.
That's a tall one. Don't. Home for a porter is the next train station. It's a warm Baker heater stove in the middle of cramped living quarters. Anyway, I'm in the mood for a good happy story.
No, Franklin, you know I don't have any happy stories. You get the pigeon keeper. That's what you get. Don't mess with the birds.
Not sure my brothers will find that one particularly scary.
Okay. So that's supposed to be a scary story. Okay.
Oh, love. Yeah. Porters like to spread news amongst ourselves. And nothing is more newsworthy than a phone number a pretty little Piola just happened to leave behind.
Oh, of course.
Don't tell anybody, but that's how I met my last girl in Holland.
Really? I'll tuck that one into my cheek and keep it for myself.
Don't want to hold you here if you need to be going.
Sadly, I must, Franklin. Thank you very much for having me.
I've got to be going in the morning, too. The next leg of my trip takes me along the rails this way.
Okay.
Where are you headed?
I think I'm gonna head southways. Maybe meet up with Quinn. Wasn't he in Virginia? Oh, well.
If we cross paths again, I'd like to tell you more of the truth about what it's like to be a porter and what it's like to be in the Brotherhood. Keep an eye out for me, all right?
Of course. But let's take a little stop to... Oh, geez. Stories are evolving faster than I can pick them up. Listen to this! Blurts a boy loitering outside this grocery store. He works his way through a long and strange story about the whippoorwill watching for death. There, what do you think? Holy shit, you know this story. It's the story of the drunkard lineman, but wildly altered for a couple moments. You're too surprised to respond. Seriously, the boy insists. What do you think about that one? It can't be real. Surprisingly, the boy's delighted. That's what I told my brother, he exclaims. But he dunked me in a rain barrel and punched me. That sucks, you tell him. The kid shrugs. I put wasps in a cup and held it on his back while he was sleeping, so we're square now, I guess. Jesus! Alright. Let's head into Cincinnati for a spell. Oh, camping apparently restores all of my rest. Okay, that's cool. What can I get at the store? Fried chicken. What does that do? Okay, that increases my stamina, but I don't believe I need that. Let's explore.
The corridors of Cincinnati's music hall reverberate with the sounds of an orchestra warming up for rehearsal.
If we unbolt the light rig, we can crush them,
says a voice up ahead. No, another answers. Hiding Baldy's baton will be sufficient to stop the din.
Okay, so we have a murderous person and a suave person who are trying to stop the music.
The tuxedoed men are slightly transparent. Mustachio on the right has his arms folded. The weaselly one on the left scowls. They start at your arrival.
I'm gonna undo those bolts.
Weasel feature vanishes into thin air.
Damn it all,
says the other man.
What's all this then?
We used to be members of the orchestra until, well, you know. Patrick doesn't care for the new blood. It seems like talent died with us, so he does his damnedest to stop them playing. But I can't allow violence against fellow artists. Help me stop him.
How do I stop a ghost, sir?
With the right tool, you can banish them from the hall. You see, no spirit can stand the sound of the purest of all instruments.
I think that's gotta be the piano? It's older.
No.
Violin.
No.
Banjo?
No.
The octobass.
He shakes his head, exasperated. No. The triangle. The orchestra has one, but their percussionist's a sop. He never hits it right. If you can get there, you can ensure the only thing brutalized here today is Chopin.
Oh god, I'll go into the hall.
The orchestra is midway through practice. They're in dire need of it. The percussionist dozes on his stool. Everyone's oblivious to the muttering from the lighting rig.
Rush for the triangle!
You sprint down the aisle and elbow through the incensed musicians. The percussionist falls off his stool as you clamber over his xylophone. You grab the beater and bring it down onto the triangle, eliciting a pure, resounding note. And
then?
The rafters ring with laughter. The mustachioed ghost appears next to you, doubled over, invisible to the furious orchestra. I never thought you'd fall for that. The triangle, for God's sake. Thanks for shutting them up, though.
Let's move on. The mischievous ghosts of the Cincinnati Music Hall. Alright, so can I cross this bridge? Okay, I can't. But I believe I can use this crossing. Okay, does it cost anything to cross? It doesn't. It doesn't even cost anything to cross. Oh no. Unfortunately, it appears that all the vehicles are going into Cincinnati and not on their way out. So that's no bueno. That does me no good. That's fine. I seem to be getting on to Charleston quickly enough. I'm wondering who else I might visit on these strange roads. Does the music change based on what area I'm in, I wonder? Anyway, what do we got here?
The man is the color of mill dust. His smile creases his face like folds in dough. He gestures you inside the dilapidated structure and shouts over the sound of driving wheels. You're welcome to sleep here. You don't want to rest by the river. Not in the evening. Insects.
Settle inside for a break.
Man shoves the broken door closed behind you. The mill is warm, and the air is heavy with the powder kicked up by your entrance.
I don't have...
You realize how easy it would be to drift off on this pile of sacks to the loud but constant sound of the grinding wheels.
I don't have any of these types of stories, so I'm gonna go for this.
Consciousness is elusive. Your limbs throb with a dull fatigue, and your eyes are sticky with dust. The man suddenly grips your legs and drags you toward the millstone. You do not love my daughter. You will not have her. I will not let you hurt her. His voice is pained, not angry.
I was about to comment. I'm gonna fight him.
Your hand catches a flour sack printed with brightly colored flowers. A puff of flour makes you sneeze, and you wake. The mill is quiet. Its works long disconnected. In your hand is the faded remnant of what might once have been a bag or a piece of a dress.
Spooky. The creepy mill. Damn right.
The women are oblivious to your approach.
Oh boy.
Their eyes are shut. Their touch, where they hold hands, is gentle. They speak in low tones. One stifles a burst of laughter, but it brings a smile to their faces. Sorry, says the one who laughed. Don't be, another assures her. They don't look up.
I'll step loudly.
The branch snaps beneath you. The youngest jerks her eyes open and snatches her hands free from the circle. It's all right. He isn't coming back, soothes the eldest. She turns to you. You could join us if you've got something you're grateful for.
I'll give thanks.
Your words go unremarked. The youngest, holding your right hand, takes her turn. And we give thanks for those who left, who we wanted gone, for the skills to thrive without them, and for the companions who make the effort joyful. Your hands are released. The ceremony is over.
Move on. The women praying in the woods. I bet you thought it was gonna be something spooky. Not this time. A tiny motormouth is eagerly sharing the details of a strange tale with her brother as they loiter outside this store. The boys listen raptly, eyes growing larger, mouth hanging open like fish, listening. She's telling about the ancient battles still raging on Boston streets. You try to hide your surprise as the story of the strange clamor on the streets of Boston. The version the girl must have heard is embellished, to say the least, but hey, it's a good story. Move on. Eastward. Away from Cincinnati. And its absent giant cockroach. I'm gonna feel real silly if you can hitchhike in whichever direction you want. I spy with my little eye 3 campfires. Quinn's at one of these, but I'd prefer to speak to someone else. So let's go to Richmond. I don't think he was here, was he? Okay. In any event, that'll do for this episode of Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. If you liked what you saw, hit like. If you want to continue the adventure, please hit subscribe. If you think that what I do is really keen, you can send me a couple bucks monthly on Patreon, and I can use that money to do fantastic, amazing things like make more videos, start streaming, hire an artist, do cool shit, and do this coolest thing I can think of, pay more rent. But until then, good night, everyone.